and would like to congratulate you as well for getting shortlisted in top 100 teams. I hope those who are attending this session today would have gone through the first session on systematic innovation through TRIZ. So uh, we have the recording of the session one, and I hope you would have, if not attended the session, would have gone through those that link. Humble request to you all. Either it should be a stern warning, but I'm just putting it as a humble request. You all are now innovators, and very soon you will be incubators or entrepreneurs also. But remember one thing for sure, that whenever there is a session, whenever there is any kind of meeting, whenever there is any kind of commitment, you should be there at least 5 minutes before. So we have scheduled this session at 6 o'clock, and you all know what is the time right now. So by now we should have rather ended this session. Anyways, coming back, I welcome you all again to the part two, that is systematic innovation through TRIZ. And we'll be going through a couple of tools today. Of course, remember that TRIZ is not a small training program. It requires at least 48 hours of interaction, wherein you can understand some basics of TRIZ. Of course, last time I tried to share some tool, and this today also I'll be sharing some tools. But if you want to go through these and efficiently practice these tools, so in that case, you'll have to go through some proper training program. So the details we'll be sharing with you, and KPIT Sparkle team will also be sharing it with you. Coming to the TRIZ, there is one of the definition of TRIZ, that there are many problems in universe. Many of these problems do have their solutions. Now, what we need to do, if we have a problem, just try and relate our problem with some of those problem in universe which has got their solution. Definitely there would be some kind of relationship in our problem and the problem which is already there, which is already existing. And we have seen last time that 90% of the problem of the world are already solved. Only thing, they are hidden in some different domain, and we need to find it out. So this method, what it will do, we can find a problem which is similar to our problem in certain relationship. If we are able to do this, the solution of that problem, which is already solved, and our solution will have the same relationship between what we have related to our problem and universe problem. So we will just go through it and see like what is the advantage of getting abstract and using knowledge. Now, what do we mean by getting abstract? Means coming out of our particular domain. I'll give you some examples. Like steering. We want to turn a vehicle. How would we do it? It was basically a mechanical activity. But then as it evolved, as it has gone to a higher level, to solve some of the problem of that steering, which was a rigid steering, and then there were some solutions within the mechanical engineering domain only, like putting up some bearings within it and putting up some joints and all that stuff. Later, this has transited or evolved. You all have realized that we have electric motor to assist the movement of the steering. Okay, in turn, the movement, easy movement of the vehicle, easy and precise movement of the vehicle. Similarly, we have hydraulic also being used in this. So if we would have tried to solve the problem within that domain of mechanical engineering or mechanical systems only, not mechanical engineering, mechanical linkages only, we would not have reached to such a good solution. So this was a quick example. We'll go ahead. Instead of searching for specific solution to specific problems, TRIZ proposes to approach problems at abstract level. You can see a triangle. You can see that this triangle is a complete search space. What does this triangle signifies? I'll tell you. This portion is bigger. You have a situation analysis. There is left brain, there is right brain. Each of these brain have different insight. They think in a different way and give a comprehensive look or understanding of the problem. So when we have a situation analysis, we get a specific problem to our situation. Then we take it to the abstract problem. This is irrespective of the domain in which it is working. When we get it at the abstract level, we can find out some abstract solution, and then we can reach to the specific solution. And then further, what we need to do is evaluation and selection. Coming back, as I mentioned, that this is a broader one. When you have a specific problem and you try to get to a specific solution, in that case, what will happen? Like time required for that, resources required for that would be more. That is what is being signified by this. But as you reach towards abstraction, your solutions are very near. So it is better to go by this path. Let's see how we can do it. We can have some specific problem like finding out area of a circle. So we have something like if we would not have known the formula of that. So what we would have done is we would have just tried to find out what are the, make some segments within that, make some boxes within that, try to find out those rectangular or square boxes ka area, usko pura add karo, and all that stuff we would have done. I am taking a very simple situation in front of you. But if someone comes and tells you that there is a formula, you can have pi r square, and then this has become an abstract level. What you need to do is you need to search for the equation, search for the formula, and based upon that you can put those values directly in this, and then you can get the specific solution. One more important thing, when you reach to the specific solution, you see that there are multiple windows. What does it signify? That when you are solving a problem with different domains, you get different insights and you will get different solution directions. Getting it? So multiple solutions you will be getting, and TRIZ does not go in a trial and error method. It goes in this way. It is a systematic way for finding the solution. That is the strength of the TRIZ methodology. So TRIZ solution patterns and inventive principles are available. We need to relate it to you. So as I mentioned, when like we go in, when we have more time and when we discuss more things over there, at that time we can just see what are the different patterns and what are the different inventive principles by which we can do it. Till then, I'll just share some of those things with you. So we are going to see what are the three trends of technology evolution. So as the technology evolves, what happens? In order to increase ability to control and adapt, systems tend to increase the degree of freedom of their parts, which experience heaviest demands through stepwise transition to more fragmented or dynamic structure. So abstract level per when we are looking at it, again I'm saying that this is an abstract level. What is this? Anything when it initiates would be a single one, monolith. Then there will be one joint, then there will be multiple joints, then it will be like elastic, flexible, completely flexible. Then there would be a state of powder, okay, then liquid, gas and field. Like yesterday when we had a discussion, I told you that there were certain things which we have to follow in a step, and as we go in this way, just think anything which is there in the universe, try to find out what it was initially. So it would have been single only. Let's see with an example, specific example. Simple ruler. You might have gone to a tailor shop, or might have gone to a shop where the clothes are being sold, for stitching the clothes. So that fabric is being sold. So you have a long ruler. What is the advantage of having a long ruler? It is efficient. It measures 1 meter, 2 meter quickly. Okay, it is rigid so that you can hold it on the table properly and do all this thing. But when it is good, when you are measuring it, when it creates problem, when you want to store it, when you want to handle it, when you want to move it from one place to another. So there was a two joint, then multiple joint. It is shown over here. You can see flexible, which is said as elastic also. It is a flexible one. And then it might not have gone to powder. It might not have gone to liquid. It might not have gone to gas, but then it has gone to field. This is the laser ruler. Okay, it is not that this ends over here. Even laser ruler mein, initially there was only one laser beam which will be measuring. Okay, but that was a monolith. But later, what has happened is you have you can measure the wall and the angle between these two walls by this kind of laser beam. I'm just showing this instrument over here. Okay, simultaneously there may be two rays which will be going through, and with the measurement of this, the distance of this, at what distance it reaches, and everything can be calculated, and you can now find out what is the angle between these two. Means this was monolith. Again, this will go to joint. Again, there may be multiple. Again, there may be elastic, and there are certain beam of rays. So even if you have a non-regular wall or a surface, that also can be measured by this device. Are you getting it? So this is how it goes. Even if it is at field level, again it will come back to this. Now you can just think of anything which comes up to your mind. So as I was telling you that mechanical, I mentioned that mechanical single rigid bar, it was very difficult to move. So there were certain different things which can move it in a easier way. Okay, you have some joints and you get some like more degrees of freedom over there, and then it reduces the efforts of the person. But then there are certain things which are assisting it. This may be electric or this may be hydraulic. Okay, and now these are drive-by-wire. What do we mean by drive-by-wire? You have independent motors to move these wheels. Probably independently, they may be moving each one of them very soon. And now you need not have any kind of wired condition, connections between these two. You can see there would be a steering which no more looks like a steering and which no more connects with this. Or probably in few years, there won't be anything at all. Tesla and all autonomous cars, there is nothing. There are only seats and only a computer screen wherein you have to just push a button where you want to go on your navigation system. Okay. Another example where it has transited to this, then two joint, three joint, multi joint, then flexible, then laser. Okay, this is a field. Anything else? Can someone help me out? What would be the next stage of it? That is not transiting. Okay. So what is it? What is this girl doing? Anyone? Saif Ali Sayed or someone else? Okay. She is actually speaking. This will get recorded and this will perform the same task, because what these things are doing, whatever is the thing which you want, whatever the text you want, it is being typed on the screen. Same thing, she can do it also. She'll keep on speaking and it will get converted to the text form. I hope I am audible. Will someone answer? Okay, Gentris Innovation Roadmap. Let's see what is this. First, I'll go in the details of Gentris, but I'll quickly tell you that TRIZ methodology was evolved in early 90s, actually much before that, and it was in a presentable form after 80s and 90s, and then since then it is not like that. Mr. Altshuler, he is not with us, or rather late Altshuler. He was with us till 1998, and after that also TRIZ is being evolved. And Gentriz is one of the company which has a major share of doing it. And last time I explained this also. Our director, Dr. Simon Letwin, has actually contributed in the for the TRIZ since Altshuler was there, and he's continuing it with his entire team. So there are certain things which are taken as a methodology, and there are 9 principles of systematic innovation. This is a Gentry's method. So what are their systematic approach to innovation? Collection of tools to identify the right problem and solve it efficiently, and ensure solutions are aligned with business strategy. These are the 3 things which we look forward, so that we can take up during this stipulated time which we have. So 9 principles, you have it. I'll not read it for you. But the first one, use a scientific problem solving approach, not just inspiration. At times it just happens that there are, and we have over the period of time seen many students or many industry professionals also, some idea comes to their mind and they are so obsessed, they are so passionate. These two actually attributes are very, very important in any person who wants to take their idea to the solution or to the product or to the market or to the customer or to their success. This is very important. But at the same time, being passionate and being not open to other ideas cause problem. And not open to other ideas, this happens because people do not go to their systematic problem solving approach. Okay, just inspiration may not take us to these solutions. Let's see what are the other things when we look at the innovation roadmap. So in TRIZ, again, these things are there, and I'll not go through all these things. These are just to show you what all things we can do through the TRIZ, or for what all things TRIZ is being used through the Gentry's methodology. Okay, by using the scientific problem solving approach. We have portfolio analysis, which is actually required for most of the companies to know what should be developed. We'll take an example on this also. There are so many things, there are so many opportunities, there are so many problems which are visible, but we cannot address each one of them. We should start with something, how to prioritize them. Okay, that is what is a selection of right products for innovation. We have tools for doing it. I'm just trying to tell you that we have tools for so many things, and what all those. Then we have MPVs. These are known as main parameter of value. We have our own definition of innovation. In that, MPV has a major share, which I'm going to explain you again. We have heard about voice of customer, but here we have something that is voice of product analysis. Okay, now does a product speak? Okay, we can say with our TRIZ step-by-step approach, product also speaks, and product also tells that where it will evolve, in which direction it will evolve. And we have already seen one example. So, like before going for next kind of any discussion among each one of us, what I would propose is 2 examples I have already given you. One is a steering, and second is that of like a keyboard. You take any example, whatever comes in front of you. It may be simplest day-to-day life thing, maybe a door, maybe a fan. It may be something like a latch of a door. So simple things. Okay, or anything else, even maybe a pencil. Okay, and try to see whether it goes through, transits through, or evolves through those steps which I have just shown, which we call as mono, bi, poly. Okay, these steps I'm speaking about: mono, bi, poly, flexi, then powder, liquid, gas, and field. Okay, and you will find solutions for that. And more you practice, more you will be confident of using in your projects or your products and your innovations. Coming, that would be one of the way of voice of product, but it is not only that. There are much more than that. Then selection of innovation targets. We have already mentioned that what are the targets based upon the priority, based upon what you are going to get, what customer is ready to pay. You might have seen some of the products. One of the product I can give you an example is pager. So pager was like Motorola was working day in, day out, did a lot of research on that. They came up with the wonderful pagers, but one thing they missed to realize that mobile phones were already in the market, and mobile phones were two-way communication device, while pager was only one-way communication device. So as the like innovation target, if they would have taken on this mobiles, their R&D would have paid them much more than that. Okay, there are many other facets to that also. I have just taken one of them. So let's not it was just to give you an example. It has got a wonderful outcome also by their failure, and Sigma is the resultant of that. Conversion of MPV to physical parameters is another factor. You have main parameter of value for which customer is ready to pay, but how to convert it in physical parameters. Physical parameters means the basic things which we need to do improve our product. Okay. Then trends of engineering system evolution. Uh, this time will not permit me to go in the detail of that. Benchmarking, we know, like we always have some benchmark right from our school days. Okay, some of our friends or some of our classmate is getting good marks, and that marks becomes a benchmark for us, and all that stuff. So similarly in industry also we do have it. How to take care of this and identify the problem based upon. That would be the key. S-curve analysis, function analysis, flow analysis, cause effect chain analysis, which is an advanced version of finding root cause. Root cause analysis के लिए we have cause effect chain analysis, very strong tool, but still at the identification level. You can see there are more tools in this, maybe trimming, feature transfer, key problem selection. Then for solving the problem, we have principles of resolving contradiction, function-oriented search, standard inventive solutions. So there are standard solutions for doing the invention. Okay, seems like a fairy tale, but it is a practice. It is like you can do it. ARIES is one of the method जिससे आप whatever the difficulty level of the problem may be, you can solve it by ARIES. But it is not a magic wand. Some of the people term it as a magic wand. Freeze is a magic wand. ऐसा भी काफी लोग बोलते हैं. But उस magic के पीछे कुछ थोड़ा rigorous हमारे understanding or rigorous practice is required. That is for sure. Further, we do have scientific effect database. There is a huge database from which we can find out some inventive solutions for our problem. Then clone problems. Some of the indication you may get just from the name. We'll find a similar problem and get the solution transited from that solution to this solution. Then there are trends of engineering system evolution, which we have seen. Then further, we have gone portfolio analysis, then need analysis, which one to solve, for which customer is ready to pay, problem identification, problem solving, and concept substantiation. There are super effect analysis. I have given some solutions, but whether it will work or not, that has to be seen. So that can be done through concept substantiation. There is super effect analysis, adaptation problem identification, failure anticipation analysis, global knowledge network. I'll explain it. IP potential evaluation. IP means intellectual property, or simple terms, patents. Okay, business impact justification. So this is all whatever we are providing to as a solution. This will take care that it is a proof of concept that it will work for sure. Okay. Once this is done, we do have the verification or implementation tools also that are, we have our smart verification lab, adaptation problem solving, IP protection, and risk mitigation analysis also. So FMEA and all, whatever, if you have heard this terminology, failure mode effect analysis, these are the advanced tools for doing it. Like in future, if what may happen to it, yeah, long-term planning we need to do and be prepared for any untoward activity or problem which may come over the period of time, over the period of larger duration. So now we'll see, I'll try to explain some of these with some case studies and real case studies which are actually solved. These are not hypothecated, hypothesis only. So now we have the roadmap, as I've just mentioned: problem identification, problem solving, and concept substantiation. That is what basically at your level we'll be needing. So I'm just putting more emphasis on that and quickly showing that there are 9 tools only for problem identification. Most of this we have seen already in the previous slide. Then problem solving, we have key problem analysis, then ARIES application, clone problem, inventive principle, function oriented search, standard solution application, scientific database application, and concept substantiation like secondary problem solving. So basically what we actually say when we try to solve a problem, we are not actually solving a problem, we are trying to generate secondary problem. And these secondary problems are those which can be easily solved. So if we solve this, our primary problem will be solved. This way we have to do it. And then how do we substantiate our idea? What are the super effect analysis and how this concept evaluation can be done? So nothing should be just left over. If you remember the last part, I've shown you that when an idea comes and when it is actually reached to the hand of the customer, there are many steps. So all those steps are actually taken care of by this innovation roadmap. So let's see what are the other things in that. I've tried to justify how we use scientific problem solving approach, and we just do not limit ourselves or rely on the inspiration. Improve the right MPV, what the customer will pay for, not all features. So when we say what is this main parameter of value? This main parameter of value is the key attribute of a product or a service that is unsatisfied on the market and important to the purchase decision process. Okay, unsatisfied, see two terms, unsatisfied and important to the purchase decision. So there are many things which are not satisfied as on date, but we have to check whether customer is ready to pay for it or not. Okay, now when we are just relying that what customer is asking, so even Steve Jobs once said that you can't just ask customers what they want and then try to give that to them, because by the time you get it built, they'll want something new. So you have to move ahead of them. You have to really understand the voice of customer. Okay, so we have actually done one case study on domestic airlines. So what do customers want? Customers want from domestic airlines. You know, it should run on time. It should arrive at the time. It should depart at the time. Is the demand from the customers. Of course, we'll go to the customers. We'll ask them, and they said that there should be good like view over the airport, and it should be comfortable, it should be spacious, it should be good looking, then there should be easy entry, kiosk should be there for we should not get get in the queues for getting our boarding pass done and all that stuff. These airlines should get connected to international flights so that we do not have hassle for changing the flights. If we just, even if we are changing the flight, if there is an connection between them, our luggage will directly move from our flight to their flight, and we need not spend our time on the belt of getting our luggage. Choose your aircraft seats, so choice of seats. Then there may be some infotainment that may be expected, and a lot of movies, a lot of songs, a lot of regional language entertainment products out there. Obviously, one of the things which customer said, like we want good food. Okay, so all these things were actually expected, and there were some people who were expecting this. So when this was done, then this airline was actually started to work upon this. Do you understand how much of the cost would have been added in doing it? So it is, if you want to gain your profit, there are various ways in which you can gain the profit. One way would be you have certain investment for doing it. This is an input and this is output which you are getting. So what you can do with this input, you can just either reduce this input, or you can keep this input as a stable. And in this case, you are reducing this input, but still giving the same output. It is in benefit. You are in profit. Okay. You are reducing this input further. So ideally, we can say that there will not be any input. In that case, existing output will give you more profit. And I'll put two arrows over here to show that it will give you more profit. Or what you can do is you may have like add more inputs, spend more money, give more facilities, and in turn you should get much more output out of that. Okay, I'm just doing it with my mouse, that is why it is not very clear, but I hope you are getting it, that this component with respect to this is what actually matters. So if you put so much of inputs on that, realizing that this is what customer is going to pay, and if it goes wrong, what will happen? You have spent so much of money, and that in that case you will land in huge loss. So we did the quick calculation. Of course, there were some tools involved. Of course, there were certain different methodologies involved in that. But then when we ask the customers, like, what actually are you ready to pay for? And this is what is the strength of this MPB. People keep on asking, and if we check out with each one of them, if we accept each one of them, again we'll be in loss, and that is what the Steve Jobs statement was. So if you ask the customer, we'll give you best quality of food of the 5-star and lot of recipe on that, what of options to you. Are you ready to pay much more for that? Probably they'll say no. And while we are doing, I'm just cutting the story short. What finally they expected, only this. So you only concentrate on one thing, and rest all things will be shadowed. People want that they should fly on time, and at least they should reach on time, because they have other things planned out there, and there are many other things which they will look after. Their connecting flights would be there, their meetings would be there, so they want that it should reach to this. And only looking at this, while I'm saying that the client was ready to invest in all. I'm not saying that these are not useful, but for what customer is ready to pay, immediately what you should try to increase is this. And then this airline was in a huge profit. Okay, let's see what is the voice of customer. As I was just telling you, so you may be thinking that customer is the king, and why you are not listening to the voice of customer. There are some reasons. How do we reach to the voice of customer? What are the methods? Market research, field interviews, conjoint analysis, and focus group. That is what we'll be doing. But see how the customers are. I need not explain what it is. People are not good at identifying their needs. Why? There are two major reasons. One, limitation of market survey. Why this market survey has got its limitation? Because people don't know what they don't know. You're getting it? It is something like finding a black cat in a black room, dark room. Okay. Some of you may give answer that you can find it from their eyeballs and all that, but it is so pitch dark that there is no reflection and these eyes are not visible. Can you find that black cat in a dark room? And particularly if the cat is not there at all. And that is what is happening. Most of the time people think that customer is demanding this, and accordingly we keep on trying to give them better and better facility, maybe service or maybe a product, but then cat is not there at all. It is just in dark. We are running around. The expectation of the customer is not that at all, because people don't know what they don't know. How would they know? Second thing, even if they know it, people can't believe that they may ask for some of the advanced products features. And this is what is to be addressed. And then we get the voice of product. We have to understand what they don't know and may ask in future, and what they can't believe and we are able to deliver. But of course, voice of product alone is not enough. We need to find out some sweet spot between these two and find out our actual MPV, because finally customer is the one who is going to pay. But then I'll give you one good example on that, a case study also on that. So this is how we define innovation. Innovation is the market available significant improvement along at least one main parameter of value that we have to find. If there are multiple, nothing better than that. Okay. So let's see some before we go to the case studies on these whatever I have explained. Let's see what is the TRIZ success in the world. You can see that these are the number of patents. Okay, and these are the years. Okay, the era in which this is being done. General Electric has the hand-holding with TRIZ education and implementation in the year 2007, and see how many number of patents are there, and these are increasing consistently. Similarly, you can see for Procter and Gamble. Similarly, you can see for Samsung. Samsung, you know where it was in like early 2000 and where it is today. It is competing with everyone, right from Apple to any of the phones in the world. Okay, maybe cheapest to costliest. Then also in some Fortune 500 companies also we do have, and then Samsung South Korea, see the development in their patents, increase in their patents. Here also you can see. Okay, so there are other companies also like Hyundai Motors. Hyundai Motors actually have once in a year TRIZ training and TRIZ hand holding with some of the TRIZ masters, and they sit with them and just try to find out what are the best things going across. And even if these are patented, there are very strong tools in TRIZ which can circumvent these patents. At times, it has happened so that many of the products were actually designed in silos, in isolation by many companies, and by the time they reached to a particular level wherein this can be substantiated and this is a proof of concept, they realize that this has been already patented by someone else. Now there are only two ways for them: either discard whatever, drop down the idea for which they were doing it, or pay the license fee to those who have got the patent on this. But TRIZ takes care of this at the first instance only, because there may be many patents hidden in different domains. So there is a quick way of generation of patents. Dear students, nowadays you all know that what is the indicator of the success or innovation for a person. Earlier, it used to be good marks only. Then it used to be having some extracurricular activities and getting some acknowledgements or recognitions or awards in these. Then it used to be like some kind of research publications, going in different conferences, writing it in journal, and then today it is more on patents. And it is not only a like statement, but there is a promise that if you follow the TRIZ methodology in the right perspective, you can quickly reach to some of the patents. And at the same time, even if there are patents in your line of action, whatever you are trying to do, with different action principles, you may also circumvent those patents and get your own patent. Okay, if you have not heard about TRIZ in academics, let me show you how many books are there, how many universities are teaching it, over 200 books in over 40 languages. So many universities are teaching TRIZ. Okay, where this TRIZ can help to students. Okay, so I'll pass on to you all some of the NEP concepts also, which have been actually there in our national education policy. Those are also very like rigidly met with our TRIZ tools. Okay, university studies, improving performance in exam, cutting down time to study, and understanding, and no need to mug up. And there are ways in which when you read one page, ideally, if you read one page, how much of that you can actually reproduce? Can someone tell me quickly? The general answer is that 40-45% we can reproduce, and that too ambitious. Okay, but with this you can express 200%, because we go to the basic understanding level and then we understand it in a better manner, so that we need not mug it up at all. For obviously projects, research, I have already explained, and entrepreneurship and startups. Okay, so determine what business you should start, MPV analysis, and whether it will succeed or not, substantiation. Generating patentable ideas, paper publication, pedagogy is the terminology of pedagogy. Pedagogy, it is a process of or art of teaching and learning. Okay, so Kriyagogi actually states that for innovation and for having an upside down shift of Bloom's taxonomy. If you are not aware about the Bloom's taxonomy, it starts with certain things to know, then to understand, then to express, then to actually apply likewise. Okay, and end would be to create. But when we learn it with the TRIZ methodology, we learn it at a level of creativity. So that is why we say that this pyramid can be like turned upside down. We start from creativity and then there is no need to remember. Then it is one of the best teaching method. The creative pedagogy is already developed and term as experts have done it. This eliminates total trial and error. And TRIZ will sort many problems easily like project-based learning, challenge-based learning, making education enjoyable, multidisciplinary approach and employability. Okay, so as TRIZ been taught anywhere else in universities, you might not have heard about, but our team, some of our TRIZ masters, some of our collaborators, they are already teaching it in MIT Boston, University of Twente, University of Lappeenranta, Finland. We do have one session tomorrow. If someone of you, I'll just through Mr. Sahil, I'll share this. There is a free webinar by one of the professor and researcher over there. And this researcher is also like from our team and he is a level 3 expert on that. And they'll be stating how the things are being done in challenge-based learning over there. How these students at a master level are solving problems of industries directly. Okay, then some colleges in Pune, Nagpur, Mumbai, Gujarat, and Nasik are actually following it. Okay, there are some of the testimonials from some of the universities. Just to put them together, I have made them small. You can I can just share it all these testimonials with you on your emails. Then these are the institutes wherein we are actually working within India, and there are much more actually. I could not put all over here. So benefits to students would be association with an international professional body, certification of membership, potential to increase in number of patents, global visibility through website of TRIZ Association of Asia. We have a dedicated website. You can just Google it on www.trizassociation.org. Then felicitation in sourcing of experts, support for placement and startup, conduction of guided competition, assistance in UG, PhD, PG projects, and selected final year, the TRIZ chapter member students will get an opportunity to work on actual projects also. Okay. Through our connects, because we are consulting to many MNCs and companies wherein they also ask that do you have some students who are learned with it, or do you have some more experts who can just spread it across the academics. So yes, for that we have actually started our TRIZ chapter. Okay, so this is a student or faculty or institute membership, and then we have a professional membership also in that. So there are many things what we can do. I'll not read it for you. You can realize it with our association with your institutes. So coming to our TRIZ case studies. So as I mentioned that I'll give you a very good case study on this MPV analysis and developing a product based upon this. Electric shavers, you all know this product, right? It was so that it is a case of Panasonic wherein the shavers were losing market. Okay. Why? Because market has become highly saturated and competitive shavers were already there in market. So there are, there are many places wherein at a very cheaper rate, the products can be manufactured. So how we can have some high price point over there. So it is like basically on the performance. But as the time passes, more or less the production, manufacturing processes, the material which is being used are becoming so stable that there is hardly any performance differences. So if there is less performance difference or very rarely some performance difference, why would someone pay high price? Okay, so definitely there will be high saturation in the market, and the company like Panasonic started losing market share. Okay, so what was the challenge? How do we make the electrical shaver a market winner? That was the case. So how this was addressed? Before going to it, we just did some initial analysis. The two voice of customer parameters, which actually we did not do it. This was done by the company itself. Okay, the two voice of customers were on the parameters that there should be shaving effectiveness. Okay, and second is there should be skin protection. So when someone is shaving it, it should be effective, means all the beard or all the hair should be cut off efficiently. Okay, and skin protection should be there, but these were already being satisfied. Now, when we started working on that, we tried to find out why would a customer pay us more and what are those factors, and we started our market niche analysis. Okay, with our global knowledge network. So you would remember I told you that GKN is a global knowledge uh, network. So we have around 8,000 experts all across the world who are like particularly expert in the domain. If you find some of these things, just say in this case, there would be some, shavers are there. So there would be some motors and all. So if there are like around 10 best people who are in the motor technology, we have at least 6, 7 of them on our like those are not on our role actually, but those are on our networks. Okay, so coming to our point, what is the niche analysis? So frequent travelers. Okay, there are many travelers who who have some specific needs from the or specific expectations from the shavers. I need not tell you these are very simple, that it should not be having many wires, charging problems, and chargers and all that stuff. Elderly or disabled with hand tremors. So at a certain age, people start like their hands start shaking, and then there may be some cuts and bruises. So that is to be taken care of. People with fast growing hair. So again, through our GKN, we have found out that there are more than 8% of the population which have fast growing hair. What does it mean? If they shave in the morning, by the time it is evening, if you see them, you'll see that, oh, he has not shaven since last 2, 3 days. So if this fellow has to go for some kind of interview or for a date, then he'll not be able to give a proper, hello? He'll not be able to give a proper like feel of that he is ready for a particular interview. है So people also need to have a shave urgently because they are on the go and suddenly they come to know that the their girlfriend is waiting for them, or some interviewer or their boss is calling them for an urgent meeting. So they need to shave it quickly. So now, based upon this market niche, what are the MPVs? As I mentioned, frequent travelers need smaller shaver, then weight of the shaver, then absence of need for charging. Okay, then low cost, obviously, to have a better market share. So what was the solution? You can just see the solution: a compact card size shaver that can be used on demand. And see the price point. I forgot to tell you the initial price point. It was the shavers made by Panasonic were costing more than $200, up to $250, and their competition were giving the same performance with a marginal difference at something like $150. And when this product was launched in the market, sorry, before this product was actually conceptualized, we asked the customers, we'll give you all these things. How much are you ready to pay? And they said, like, it will easily pay more than $250. And when we did all the work on this and made it smaller, made it to the best of the expectation of them. This is a very small, it is a card size shaver. Then it has got only two AAA size batteries in it. and this batteries run more than a month. So there is no need to carry a charger and all that stuff. And it is so handy. You can just keep it in your pocket and nobody will notice that you have a shaver in your pocket. You just compare it with our normal shavers. Let it be of any smallest size. And this is much smaller than that. Okay. Not only this, you can just see these products on the Amazon also. You just type on the go shavers and you type Panasonic along with that and you will get these. It is not only to have it manufactured. The challenge was how you can make a motor. What is generally the shape of a motor? Can someone tell me? It is cylindrical. Okay, but we were able to get a flat motor. That was our requirement. So there are again two options in which we could have got the flat motor. One, we would have to develop it from the scratch, or we would have to find it out. And through our GKN again, we could find flat motor, and which was helpful in getting it a smaller version of it. I'm having it right now also, and we are using it, and it is really very effective, and it works for longer duration with the two AAA size batteries, very lightweight. See, what was the impact of that? $50 million annual revenue, and it was covered by multiple patents, allowing the client to cover almost the entire market niche. So it is not only that you can have like a product, it is also important at what price you are launching it in the market. You can see competition 150, the actual Panasonic shavers $250, and what customer was ready to pay more than $250, and in what we are offering is $19 to $54. Of course, there were some variants, some specific needs, and for that there was a range of this. Okay, so this is the case study in MPV electric shavers. Okay, so we do have some more case studies, but considering the time, I'll have to stop myself over here. And then if you have any questions, you can ask me. And if you plan for some other sessions, then we can have one more session wherein we can do all this stuff, and which would be also a kind of a question answer sessions when people will go through our methodologies or these two parts. Okay, so then we will be able to give some more insights on that. So just hurriedly running on the points would not solve any purpose. So I would just like to stop over here, and would like to tell you that okay, there are certain training programs in which like basic level, these are the points which we can go through in this training program: introduction, main parameter of value, function analysis of product, cause effect chain analysis, trimming, and resolving engineering contradiction, and resolving physical contradiction. We have some mesmerizing case studies with us, but as we started very late, I am sorry, we won't be able to go ahead with this. And we recently had one conference wherein experts from 18 different countries have shared their expertise, their knowledge over here. So if you definitely you would have missed it, but if you still want to have a glimpse on or have a total session to be seen on that, so you can just go to our website and just click on developing market winning products. We have the recordings of all those things. You'll have to register and get it learn from that. So if you are interested, and if you are just thinking of how these, what are the different levels of training in TRIZ. So we have, as we have just mentioned, basic workshop. Then there are advanced workshop, focus on advanced tool for problem identification and solving. And then we have certain facilitation also on these different levels as you go ahead. And this is something similar to graduates who are expected to become Gen3 providers and internal trainers and facilitators. These also can be done out there. And each one of them, we do have some details right now. I'll not mention, you can just Google and go to our website and you can find all those stuff. And just to tell you that our company, Triz Asia or Triz Association of Asia, is one of the most like uh, training provider, and we have, like, if you have not known by now, there is something known as Matris, which is known as International Association of Triz, and we are the one who have trained maximum number of people across India, or you may say Asia, wherein these trainings have been done, and these are certified by Matris. So we are authorized service like training providers or certification agency for Matris. So that was all. For any further information, you can just connect to any one of us, or you can just ask Mr. Sahil or Mr. Vishal. They will also be able to provide it. And in fact, Mr. Vishal has also got training from Triz Asia. He is also a Triz practitioner. So, of course, there are some more things which we can discuss, but as I mentioned, time is the constraint. So, I expect, like, if we are having another session in the future, please be on time so that we can finish in time as well.